The 2 days cabinet retreat, which concludes on Saturday, brings together all government departments to share knowledge, monitor ongoing projects, and identify solutions to improve service delivery across Meghalaya. Chief Minister Conrad on Friday defended the state government third cabinet retreat at Orchid Resort Maukaseng, describing it as a crucial platform for improving governance. Speaking to reporters, Sangma cited concrete outcomes from previous retreat, including resolving issues related to ad hoc teachers, speeding up approvals under the CM Special Development Funds, and cutting average files clearance times from over a year to just 24 hours. Responding to opposition criticism of our expenditure, the Chief Minister described the retreat as an investment in efficiency rather than a cost, adding that such interactions have departments worked collectively to deliver better services to citizens. Conrad said that the retreat is part of government targeting to achieve 10 billion US dollar economy of the state by 2030.
Yeah, friends, as you're aware that this is the third cabinet retreat that we are having. And in this cabinet retreat, what we do is that we have all the departments, the officials and directors of all the departments present. We have all the BDOs present, and we have all, obviously, the cabinet ministers and senior officials who are present out here. Every cabinet retreat has got a different theme to it. But the general objective of the cabinet retreat is that while every official or minister is involved in his or her duties, it is important to align with the larger vision of the state government and to understand what every other department is doing. For example, PHE department needs to know and be aware of what are the development programs that are taking place in water resources, in social soil and water conservation, in the mining department, in forest department, because it is aligned with water. Similarly, education department needs to also understand what sports and youth affairs is doing, because they are related with youth. The health department needs to also understand what CNRD is doing, because it has to do with women and women empowerment and with the health of the women. So therefore, all of these are connected. Until the departments are not talking to each other, or at least understanding what is the larger objective and mission of the government, then somewhere along the line we are missing out on the opportunities that we could have if we were to understand what the larger goals and activities of different departments are. So that's the larger perspective. In this cabinet retreat, what we have done though is that we are aligning people's vision with the 10 commitments and the 10 opportunities that we have laid down in our Vision 2028 and Vision 2032. We're trying to explain to people that while we are achieving or working towards the $10 billion economy and $16 billion in 2032, how does tourism play a role? How does road department and PWD department play a role? And while we're doing all of this, our 10 commitments to ensure that there is housing for all, there is a caring economy, there is a proper service delivery mechanism. How do we ensure that these commitments that we have laid are also achieved while we move towards an economic agenda of achieving a $10 billion economy? So it is important for block officers, important for directors, important for ministers to understand what each department is doing. So for 2 days, we're going to be sharing the knowledge, the information, the schemes, the programs of every department. And the most important part is that the officials are free to ask any question. The officials are free to give any suggestions. It's like an open, access medium where officials can give ideas, because sometimes the best ideas come from the grassroots. So we are sitting here and we might not understand but the block officer who's going through day-to-day activities at the grassroots knows better that maybe if we can just change the mechanism of how we are doing the work by just changing one particular rule can actually change the entire functioning of the department and the delivery of the services. So I think this is what we try to do. We of course unofficially call it Team Meghalaya, and we feel that Team Meghalaya should meet once in a while, talk to each other, discuss the problems of the state, align our visions, align our goals, and see how different departments can work together to achieve the larger purpose of taking the state forward and giving better services to the people of our state. You can look at it from any other point of view. I've seen that criticism is always there. I think it's important for us to see the larger goal and larger perspective. The fact, as I said today, that sitting here, all departments will talk to each other and understand what's happening, the larger goal and perspective, I think is really the main outcome. Let me share with you one very, very important outcome, and then you can be the judge to tell me whether this is a waste or this is actually productive. So in the first cabinet retreat we had in Sora, the education department gave us a long presentation on ad hoc schools and ad hoc teachers and SSA teachers, including the fact that we're spending close to about 1100 crores on grant in aid, including the fact that government of Meghalaya is one of the few states in the country that supports private schools. In fact, we have about 4,000 private institutes who we support, whereas any other state in the Northeast, the numbers are either 0 or even less than 50. So we are really supporting private schools. But yet, the problems are there in terms of the large number of schools we have, the teacher-student ratios being very, very skewed. So this presentation was given to us in the cabinet retreat when we sat there. And we sat there and looked at those numbers. Every single cabinet minister, every single officer is looking at this saying that this is amazing. I mean, how can we be functioning like this? And we took a decision at that moment. We said, we are going to resolve this in this year 2025. We have to take this decision. And we took that decision, and that's what drove us to decide before Christmas that before this calendar year ends, I want the solution. I pushed the education minister, pushed the commission secretary. They met these SSA teachers, ad hoc teachers multiple times, and we said, we're working on a deadline out here. We need to get this done. CM has given us a direction. The cabinet has given us a direction. The cabinet retreat has decided. And we're so happy to tell you that we have reached to that conclusion. So now, if that cabinet retreat had not taken place, and we had not decided it then, maybe we'd be still struggling with this issue in front of us. So that's how things work. And therefore, I leave it to you to decide whether these kind of things are important or not. And I'm sure that as the more you listen to the discussions that happen there, you realize, and you can take the feedback from officials, that there's some things. I wish I could put it live on Facebook. People would really see what's happening. And we shared some numbers today regarding presentation of how file movements have reduced. So a lot of people don't understand. I'll just give an example to you that, when files are moved. So what happens, I'll just give you an example of my CM Special Development Fund. When I took over, there were roughly about, I may be wrong by a few numbers here and there, but about 15 to 20 people through which the CMSDF scheme, once I approve, had to go through to be sanctioned and the check to be released to the beneficiary. That process should take anything between 1 year to 2 years to complete. I reformed the whole thing myself and I said there's no need to do this. Budget has been given, and hence from Chief Minister's office it goes to the Secretariat. My same Secretariat. They process it and check goes straight to DC. With that reform, today a CM SDF scheme can be sanctioned in 24 hours. That's the difference that we made. Now, we were just looking at the presentation and we showed to every department, we showed them that most of the departments even today, there are about average of about 15 to 20 people through which the file has to move through. Though the file movement has today reduced from 15 days to 10 days to 15 days on average, today to less than 2.7 days for one file to be cleared on average. So we clear about close to, I was looking at it, about 80,000 files. Last year we cleared 80,000 files. And all these 80,000 files, average clearing time was 2.7 days. Earlier it used to be 10 days plus. And this is reform has taken place because we have now been able to introduce technology and everybody's on e-proposals and the projects move on time. Now, how do we ensure that this reduces from 2.7 to below 1? And that can be done by ensuring that each department works towards removing the individuals who need not be part of the process. For example, Government of India, only 5 to 6 people see the file before it's approved. So 5 officials go through it. So in our system also, where it's necessary, of course, we have to, but wherever it can be removed, it should be removed. I'm just giving you one small example of one presentation I just saw just now. Now this is going to help every department understand that for the benefit of the people and to ensure that the government works efficiently, the number of tables and number of people involved in file clearance needs to be rationalized and needs to be made efficient. This is the outcome of cabinet retreat that we're seeing today. I'll leave it to you to decide whether that's good or that's bad, or whether it's waste of money, or whether we're trying to actually achieve better efficiency and better governance for the people.